ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Inshallah wa ta'ala, in this small video, our goal is to cover some of the benefits, fawaid, and the maqasid of Surah Al-Takathur.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Takathur, generally you find, some people, they always want more and more. Kathra, from the word kathra. So one of the things that surah, it's a reminder for every single person when they busy themselves with this worldly life. This is from Juz Amma, for the ones who are not aware. A Takathur, it has like around 8 ayahs. So 8 ayahs that remind you of the reality of the hereafter. And Juz Amma in general talks about Al-Jannah and Nar. One of the first things when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Alhaakum at-takathur, and in Arabic they usually translate as Ajghalakum at-takathur, yani what has diverted you or what has kept you busy with consumption of more and more. More, when we say, it can refer to wealth, and it can refer to like you're busy with your children. Some people want more children, or they have busied themselves basically with the dunya itself, either being wealth or with their children. Alhaakumut takathur. So we have diverted and have busied ourselves with consumption of more and more of this worldly life. حتى زرتم المقابر. The second part of the ayah. حتى زرتم المقابر, until, the literal translation is, you have visited the graves. So one of the meanings that the scholars of the Mufassirun, they mention, is until you're actually buried in the grave itself. In some of the other books of tafsir, they talk about the ones who go to visit their fathers. And the third meaning you'll find in some of the books of tafsir is what they would visit their father, the graves, out of pride to mention the name of this person's grave is so and so. But this is from fakhr, yani they take pride in these graves because these were their ancestors. But the most common tafsir you'll find is until the person is actually buried. Now, one of the things when you hear the word zur or ziyara is generally it is a temporary place. So some of the Mufassirin also mention when you visit a place, it is going to be temporary. So even if you are buried, the reality is, in our belief, every single person will be resurrected. So this is also one of the meanings that the scholars mention, that this person is going to be resurrected. So that's why this is also going to be a temporary abode. They use the word ziyara or zurtum. Now the third part, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is negating, but it's also an affirmation that we will know. ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Again, it is ثُمَّ is again, we will know. What is this the thing that we will know? كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. That you shall know. علم اليقين is like when you have knowledge of the true reality. Let me give you an example. When you know the direction of the Kaaba is this direction. So this is called ilmul yaqeen. You haven't seen the Kaaba, but you know it's in this direction. This is to indicate with your knowledge, you are sure that it's in this direction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, you will know with this knowledge of yaqeen. You will have this knowledge. Now, لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ, when you see the hellfire. At that point, in the next ayah, ثُمَّ لَتَرَوْنَهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ, once you see the hellfire, again we shall know with Ainul Yaqeen is when we are sure because of what we see with our own eyes. So the first, if you're in front of the Kaaba, at that point it becomes Ainul Yaqeen. Ilmul Yaqeen is when you know, okay, the Kaaba is in this direction. But when it comes to the hellfire, it's something a lot more serious. So we know, we as Muslims, we believe in al-Jannah and Nar. But once the people see it in true reality, it changes from ilmul yaqeen to aynul yaqeen. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, that you will see it with aynul yaqeen. And the last part, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. And you shall be asked about the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day. This is a reality. Many of us, we have so many bounties and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala around us. And Umar ibn al-Khattab and the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr, when they had a good healthy meal, when one of the Ansaris had actually invited them to his house, and he had actually served the Prophet ﷺ, he reminded them, and the Prophet ﷺ actually went to his house, he reminded the Sahaba, that is Umar and Abu Bakr, after they had the meal, that they shall be asked about this ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what did they have? Dates, milk, and they slaughtered an animal. Subhanallah. And we have plenty of meals a day, but we forget the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is upon us. So brothers, be amongst those people who consistently thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and constantly remind themselves of Al-Jannah and now. And we are a people that keeps a balance between hope and fear. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك